This morning, we are live with an exciting art project for 9 and 10 News. We are going to take this blank slate and turn it into a creative masterpiece. We're with the team from Signs Now. Coming up on Michigan This Morning, we'll tell you all about it.
You know, you see those trucks on the side of the road or driving down the road that are, you know, blazoned with their company's logo.
They're decked out.
What have you. You don't actually think about how they get on there, truthfully.
But what we're learning this morning, it's actually a pretty tedious process. Kaylin and Stephanie are live at Signs Now in Traverse City to show us how it's done. Good morning, Kaylin.
Good morning, Evan and Michelle. It really is crazy to see how it all happens. We're going to take you through the process this morning, and we're lucky enough that it's a 9 and 10 News truck that we're going to make. It looks just like a white vehicle, but that's not the case. Andrew's with Signs Now. Andrew, take us through the first process, which obviously any artist, you need a vision.
Absolutely. Kaylin, our first step is to take photos of the vehicle, take a lot of measurements, and from there we bring it into our design computer and we design the coolest thing that we can come up with that's really going to grab attention. And from there we output it, we print it on our latex inkjet printer, and the next step is, as Craig is doing over here, is we do a lot of cleaning work to really prep it.
You have to have a very, very clean surface, which is what we're going to be working on right here. This is for our creative services department. They do awesome work. And so this is, I guess you go back and forth with whatever your client is, and people can sort of make whatever they dream happen.
Exactly. Your imagination and our imagination is the limit. We can go as cool as outside of the box with this as you can imagine.
Well, outside of the box fits in well with our creative services team. We love them. We're excited to help get their truck ready. We have many steps to get to. So Evan and Michelle, we'll see you in a little bit.
Well, I was thinking outside of the box fits Kaylin very well too.
Yes, definitely. And this is an interesting story. I mean, so definitely something you don't see every day.
Yeah, so good stuff.
Yeah. In prison.
Good morning, I'm Kaylin Franks, live in Traverse City with a behind-the-scenes look at Signs Now.
Getting fancy.
We are reveling at the new graphics package we have.
Oh!
And that is a new logo.
Yeah, that wasn't there before.
Look at that. They are decking this van out this morning.
Ooh.
Kaylin and Stephanie there. Seeing the process, because it is a process. It's not like you just stick a sticker on the side of the van and drive it out. It's,
It takes a bit.
Yeah.
It takes a little while.
This morning we're live in Traverse City with the team from Signs Now, learning about the work they do to help wrap trucks, make all of your business stuff look awesome. They're helping us with one of our very own. We'll do the next step in the process coming up on Michigan This Morning.
Well, take a drive anywhere and you'll see hundreds of custom signs and banners dotting highways and businesses.
Now, if you dream it, chances are it can be made into a sign. This morning, Kaylin and Stephanie are at Signs Now in Traverse City working on a very special project. Good morning, Kaylin.
Good morning, Michelle and Evan. We are working on a truck that's part of the 9 and 10 News fleet for our creative services team. And we wanted to sort of show the process because we knew this was happening and it's not something you get to see all the time. Andrew, you're with Signs Now. What is your team working on? It looks very diligent work, very small tasks they're working on.
Yeah, this is a large panel of pressure-sensitive vinyl that we've printed on our 60-inch wide latex inkjet printer.
Okay.
And the guys are now, they've peeled the backing off, exposing the adhesive, and they're applying pressure to the adhesive to make it stick to the vehicle. So as you can see, there are lots of areas where there are potential wrinkles, but they're working around them, getting a nice clean product and laying it down flat.
I know that a lot of people may think that this is, when they see it just blow by on the highway, that this is painted on. But this is different because this comes out on a printer. It's almost like a giant bumper sticker.
In a way, yes, except we use materials that are meant to be on a vehicle for long term. We use inks that are meant to hold up to UV rays. Essentially, when this is on, it can be treated as a paint job. So, yeah.
Pretty interesting. I know that they have to pull this backing off. This is the largest panel we're going to work with this morning. When they're pulling the backing down and they're stretching it to fit, I've noticed that if they make a mistake, they can almost lift it back up and set it back down. So this isn't, you know, mistakes do happen.
Exactly. This material is meant for wraps. It has a temporary adhesive while we're applying it that allows us to reposition it and to get it to lay nice and flat. And then we apply more pressure and more heat when we want it to stay in place.
Okay. We're going to learn about this vinyl product a little closer coming up in the next segment, you guys, because my big thing would be, you would always have air bubbles or mistakes, Michelle and Evan, but no, because there are some tricks we're going to learn, including Kaylin getting to experiment with a blowtorch, which will help the truck look great. So we'll see in a little bit.
Oh.
Looking forward to that.
That'll be exciting.
Always. Kaylin blowtorch. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No, nothing.
All right.
This morning we're live in Traverse City with the Signs Now team. We're helping make our creative truck into a masterpiece of art. Coming up on Michigan this morning, we'll learn how heat helps in the process.
All right. Well, for businesses, their signage is an important decision. It often becomes the lasting image of their product.
This morning, Kaylin and Stephanie are at Signs Now working on one of our very own trucks from start to finish. Good morning, Kaylin. How's it going?
Evan, Michelle, it's going really well. It's pretty surprising to see the amount of very small detail work that has to go into it's very painstakingly sort of detailed process, Andrew. And one of the things you guys use is heat, because you need the heat sort of heats things up and then we smooth them over. So this is basically one of the simplest tools you use, but the most important.
Yes, absolutely. The heat does a few things. It helps to smooth the vinyl out to allow us to apply it without getting wrinkles in it.
Okay.
And it also helps to heat set it to make sure that it stays in place.
All right, I'm gonna try my hand. These guys are all a little nervous. So Andrew, your advice, where do you want me to go? Where
Right
this
there
is
looks good. Give
okay.
it a shot. A little bit of heat.
Fire.
Okay, up higher. Perfect. See how it's flattening out nicely?
Look at that.
Okay, that's good. Just enough.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to hand this off to Eric. Thank you. We're going to take a cruise around back because the vinyl is what we're talking about. And one of the most interesting parts about it is it's so forgiving. We're going to show people up close. So this is like a little scrap.
Yeah, this is printed on our latex printer, and this is on a 3M material.
Okay.
And as you can see on the back here, it's actually really hard to see because it's microscopic.
Mm-hmm.
This has tiny little air channels in it that allow the air to escape as we're applying this, and it also has these microscopic little legs which make it repositionable. So if I peel the backing off here, I can stick this on the vehicle,
And it's not stuck
and it's not
forever.
totally stuck. I can pop it back off really easy.
And so the heat is what helps it to really, like once we put the heat on it, she's stuck.
Yes, between pressure and heat, those are the two things that help this thing to stay on for a long,
Okay.
long time.
And they can stand up to snow and ice and wind and rain. And that's what they're working on over there. They're going over that detailed, push the air out, heat, pressure. It's a long
Exactly.
process.
It is, but to do it right, to make this thing last long, it takes time.
It takes a lot of time. You guys, I'm excited to see. As you can see, we're getting there. We've got a long way to go before 8:45. I better get to work. Stephanie, you better get to work too, maybe. We'll see.
Glad you haven't burned the place down yet, Kaylin.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're continuing our work this morning live in Traverse City with the guys from Signs Now on a very special project to us here at the station. Coming up on Michigan this morning, we'll learn about cutting and how it makes a job go from A to A+.
Well, today is sort of a unique day for our On The Road crew.
They are wrapping one of our station vehicles and showing us the process from start to finish. Kaylin and Steph are live at Signs Now in Traverse City. Good morning, girls.
Good morning, Michelle and Evan. Just a reminder for everybody at home, this is what our final product is hopefully going to look like. Signs Now has helped to design, be the creative vision in all of this for our creative services truck. And Andrew, we're working still on this big panel. This is a huge piece. The guys have been working nonstop. But right now, Jason's about to do a job that would make me very nervous because he has an X-Acto knife and he's cutting along the side.
Yes, this is a part that takes a lot of skill in that we don't want to cut through to the paint.
Yes.
So we're only cutting through the vinyl layer. And this is also a very important part because doing this right ensures longevity of the wrap. This is one of the areas that can fail if it's not done right, where cuts are made.
And if we look closely, and Steph, I'm sorry if you can't really pick this up on a camera, but like around here, it's sort of stretched, like there's a bubble right there.
Yep.
So all of that has to be cut so it lays nicer.
Exactly. So when Jason's done with that portion, we're going to come around here and cut around this edge to allow this vinyl to lay flat. if there's any area where we have air trap like that, if we were to leave it like that, eventually that could cause a failure.
It'll
So
just bubble back
it
out.
will bubble back
What's
out.
he working on right now? He's sort of pushing everything into, so he made the cut there, and the coolest part is you can't really tell. It's not like there's a big part of the truck sticking out again.
Exactly. We're pushing it in to make sure that it stays down in the area of the vehicle. And yeah, you're right. When this is all done, it looks like a seamless painted job.
We're excited to see. Cars are not easy to work with, and this is sort of something that has grown in popularity over the years. Just really quick, do you think it's coming, we're going to start seeing more and more of wrapping this way using this special type of vinyl?
Yeah, we've been wrapping for about 15 years, and we've seen quite an increase over the past few years, where people are starting to realize the benefits of wraps, how many people see them on the road.
It is.
And it's a great form of advertising.
Like a traveling little billboard. If you've ever seen Stephanie or anyone else from the station driving around, it is like a little billboard, and we're always willing to wave and say hello. I'm waving to you, Michelle and Evan. Good morning and hello, just like we're in the car.
Yeah. Beep, beep. Okay. Yeah, could never do
Beep,
that
beep.
job.
Bringing us the sound effects this morning, too.
Yeah, you know, she's always good for a good horn honk, Kaylin is.
This morning we're live in Traverse City with the team from Signs Now, working on the transformation of a station vehicle. Coming up on Michigan this morning, we're showing you how it's all done, including a very special hood ornament.
Since 1983, the team at Signs Now in Traverse City has helped thousands of people turn their vision into a reality.
Whether it's a small project to a roadside billboard or even putting signage on a vehicle, our On The Road crew is there this morning. Good morning, Kaylin and Stephanie.
Good morning, Evan and Michelle. It's really been a huge process this morning. These guys are working so quickly, but yet efficiently and taking their time, because this is a big project to help transform these vehicles. And an interesting part sometimes people may forget about, Andrew, is you can decorate the hood.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best things to do to make it cost effective while still standing out is to do what we call a partial wrap. So that's where we combine doing a full coverage on, say, part of the vehicle, but on the, say, the hood, for example, we're doing just the logo, a cutout logo on our plotter, as well as some black plotter cut text below it. So that allows you to tie the design together on the entire vehicle, still make it stand out, and make it cost effective.
Definitely a more cost effective option. And I guess my question is, do people really see the hood or pay attention to the hood? But you probably say it's one of the most areas people are catching the attention.
Yes, every part of a vehicle, well, maybe with the exception of the roof, has potential to be an advertising surface. So why not utilize it?
Yeah. What's some of the stuff you guys have heard from people who utilize these wraps? A lot of small businesses, people who start their own dream and follow in their own sort of path in life, and they have one vehicle, they get it wrapped. This is really, if you travel for work, why would you not? I mean, you can drive around all day and promote, and it looks great. And the most important part, it'll last a while.
Exactly. It lasts a long time, and I'd recommend to any company that has a vehicle or more fleets of vehicles that they have lettering or graphics applied to them. It's a very cost-effective form of advertising.
And obviously you don't have to go as big as we are going here with this giant van in a full wrap and a partial wrap on the front. You really can, I mean, there are sports teams or something, just a small bumper sticker. You guys, I mean, the sign possibilities are endless.
They are, and size is endless too. We can do really small graphics and decals if you want to go with something that isn't too in your face, as well as we can go really large to make something that's eye-catching. So everything in between.
We like it in your face here. And Fox 32, 9 and 10, we've got the hood ornament. We're good to go. The side is coming along. You guys, we have a lot of work. Evan and Michelle, I got to get back to it. I've been helping out a lot this morning, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I can.
Good job,
Very
Kaylin.
trusting, I know.
I'm giving you the thumbs up right
Putting her on
now.
the payroll over there.
All right, it is.
This morning we're live in Traverse City with the Signs Now crew. The finishing touches are being put on our new creative services truck coming up on Michigan this morning. We just have a few more details to add.
Well, all morning long, we've been learning the process of wrapping vehicles.
You can see cars and trucks with logos all the time, but the steps behind it are something you don't see so often. So Kaylin and Stephanie are live this morning at Signs Now in Traverse City. How's it coming along there, Kaylin?
Things are coming along really well, Michelle and Evan. Really the best part about all of this has been seeing just how you have to pay attention to every little detail, because when it's driving down the road, it may pass you in a blur, but it's the craftsmanship behind it that's been really fun to see. Andrew, we're working on, I mean, as you can see, take a look, things have come along. We've got logos, we've got some wording, and this is different because this is this vinyl just a different type?
Yeah, this is a white vinyl that comes on a roll. We run it through our plotter, which cuts the letters out individually, and then our team weeds away what doesn't go to the vehicle, and then we apply this. You can kind of see this milky white material on top of it. That's called transfer tape, and that helps us to transfer the letters all in one sheet to the vehicle, make sure they're all laid out properly and straight.
So the letters that have been cut out are in vinyl right now. That is very similar. It's the exact kind of, oh, the unveiling.
Yeah, so now they're going to peel off the transfer tape showing the die-cut lettering left behind. And
I think one of the best parts about this is it doesn't look like it's separate. It almost looks like it's one huge graphic. When we talk about how this stuff comes to light in your guys' sort of production area, I mean, what is the timeline from we have this vision? How many times does it go back and forth on a computer? Do you guys have designers who help come up with this?
yeah, we have 3 designers on staff, and it can vary in time. Sometimes clients need things turned around within a couple of days, and we do things as quickly as we need to do to make them happen. The ideal time frame can be anywhere, including from design to printing and installation, from as little as a week to as long as, I mean, a few weeks, just to get it right.
Round of applause for this team right here. I only have one hand and they don't want to clap for themselves. We also, people at home may be looking at these orange sort of tabs that are stuck all over, and these are magnets, and you guys have relied very heavily on magnets all morning long. It's almost like your form of sticking things to the board.
Exactly. This helps us to pre-place things to make sure that the placement is correct. Let's look at this where we have a few magnets holding it. We're getting ready to apply this next piece, and we're just checking placement. The magnets hold it where we want it to be, just to make sure everything's correct. Yeah.
We're almost there. Just a few more steps, a few more trims. Michelle, Evan, we will have an unveiling at 8:45.
Looking forward to it. All right, thanks, Kaylin.
And we're going to...
This morning we are finishing up our tour of our brand new ride. Coming up on Michigan This Morning, we will give you a 360-degree view of the new Creative Services truck.
Well, this morning, a vehicle from our creative department here at the station is getting the royal treatment at Signs Now in Traverse City.
Our On The Road crew is live there this morning. We're checking in one final time. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Evan and Michelle. It's been a great morning watching this all come together, because when we first showed you way back at 5:45, this was really a blank canvas. It's just a regular white van, a nice clean white van, because Andrew, we're going to start from the beginning, and Stephanie is going to lead us sort of on a 360-degree tour. But you need a clean surface before you can make all this happen. What do you think? Are you proud of the job?
I'm extremely proud. I think that this is a nice, clean look. It's going to grab a lot of attention and really look good for you.
Before we head off on the tour, we wanted to show you guys, earlier we showed you those bubbles that they were working. They cut with an X-Acto knife right down here. It's sort of where the contours of the vehicle are. And then when you're from standing far back, it almost just looks three-dimensional. It really does honestly look like it was made this way. You can't really tell anything different. They're working on some finishing touches. Steph, lead us on your way. Andrew, a lot of people we chose something pretty simple for the back. And you say the back is where a lot of people, if you're a small business owner, a lot of people stare at your back when you're stopped at a light.
Yeah, you have a captive audience essentially, so it's good to keep it clean and simple to allow your information to be easily communicated.
And this is also a surprise for those of you at home watching. The other side of the van is also done, looking beautiful as well. And then earlier we talked about hood ornaments have changed in the past, decades. They aren't just a little guy standing up. Now you can make whatever you dream a reality.
Yeah, that's the beauty of our business is if vinyl can stick to it, we can cover it. We can wrap it with vinyl. It's not just vehicles. We can cover anything you can imagine. We've done some pretty amazing things. So if you really want to make something pop, talk to us.
Maybe we could vinyl Stephanie and she could be, yes, she wants to vinyl me and vinyl over, yeah. No more talkie, time to rap.
Oh, the pun. Totally intended there, Kaylin.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Michael Stevens talking about putting himself on the side of his car.
Just